It began here. It will end here. Have you any parting words? Or would you prefer to skip the speeches and get to our business? You are the challenger here, after all. So to you goes the courtesy of the first blow. Now that you have come to me here, there can be but one result. Many times I have considered offering to share this place with you. I considered offering to accept your oath of service. You might try to buy my trust by giving me Wraithguard, Keening, and Sunder. I thought we might once again be friends, comrades, brothers in arms. But I have won this place and power by right of conquest, by right of daring and enterprise. I will not risk it to cunning and deceit. I offer you no deals. If you are my enemy, I cannot trust you. And even if you are not my enemy, I cannot let you live. It will all be decided here. I believe I will prevail, but I cannot be sure. And I am vain enough that, should I fall, I would wish to be remembered in my own words. So if you have final questions you would ask them now. I have final questions I would ask you, if you would answer. My first question is, are you really Nerevar reborn? That is bitter. The gods and fates are cruel. I served you faithfully once, Lord Nerevar, and you repaid me with death. I hope this time it will be you who pays for your faithlessness. My second question is, if you win, what do you plan to do with the power from the heart? Will you make yourself a god and establish a Thirchi? Or will you complete Akulakan and dispute control of Tamriel with the Septums? Or will you share the heart with your followers as I have and breed a new race of divine immortals? Well, perhaps there may be surprises in store for me yet. Or perhaps you obscure your plans on principle. Or perhaps you are an instinctive bluffer. No matter. My final question is, if I had offered to let you join me, would you have surrendered Wraithguard, Sunder, and Keening to me to seal your oath? Yes, of course. I doubt that any cunning plan would have been of much use once I had the tools in hand. But now we'll never know. Pity. But now, if you have any questions, ask them. Otherwise, you are the challenger. I await your first blow. What are your questions? I will continue to draw divine power from the heart and distribute it to my kin and followers. I will continue to broadcast divine power upon the blight winds so that it will touch each soul in Vvardenfell and then more broadly across the waters to the rest of Morrowind and Tamriel. In time, every mortal in Tamriel shall feel the liberating contact with the divine. What are your questions? The Sixth House will serve as the elite cadre of our movement. As cultists evolve through various stages of enlightenment, they will become, as suits their abilities, either holy warriors or priests. Their duty is to prepare themselves for service. Their joy and liberation is to enter even more deeply into the profound enlightenment of the divine dream world. What are your questions? I will free the Dunmer from the imperial yoke and cast down the false gods of the temple. I will lead them out of their ancient superstitions and gift them with intimate knowledge of the divine. Then perhaps when Morrowind is once again restored to its ancient glories, it will be time to consider whether the Dunmer should cultivate ambitions of empire. What are your questions? If by my crimes you mean the inevitable suffering and destruction caused by war, then I accept the burden of leadership. The Sixth House cannot be restored without war. Enlightenment cannot grow back without the risk of upsetting the tradition-bound and complacent herd. And the mongrel armies of the Empire cannot be expelled from Morrowind without bloodshed. As I have charity and compassion, I grieve, but our mission is just and noble. What are your questions? I have no idea what happened to the Dwemer. I have been denied the opportunity to study Wraithguard, and I am not sure how much of Kagranak's lore was invested in his tools, and how much in his own sorcery and mastery. I have long studied Kagrenak and have come to admire his wisdom and craft. Someday, after the campaigns of the Sixth House are secure, I hope to have time to dedicate to this mystery. What are your questions? Akula Khan will serve three purposes. First, it will be the champion of my armies, liberating first Vvardenfell, then Morrowind, and then, perhaps the rest of Tamriel. Second, it will serve as a sower and cultivator of the divine substance derived from the heart. 3, it will serve as the prominent banner and symbol of our cause. To defy the Empire, to liberate mortals from ancient superstitions, and to glorify our crusade against the gods. What are your questions? Very well. If you are impatient to begin, go ahead. You are the challenger. To you goes the first blow.